And oh wow, I don't even know where to start. Should I start on the personal side or the business? Because
Let me do both.
okay, personal side, I recorded a live birth, and that was pretty.
Exactly.
It was a birth, and of course, I'm all up in your business. That's something right there, and then I had to go through it again since it was video.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like 2-time experience. And then on the business side,
I know for me, I wasn't a big wine person. I used to drink a lot of, just drink liquor, you know what I mean? I'm like, wine ain't gonna do nothing for you, you know what I mean? Exactly. So one of my friends put me on the wine, and I ended up getting a gig, we ended up getting a gig with a wine fest, which is in Atlanta, Georgia. And we traveled up there, and we covered it, we took pictures for them. And it was pretty cool, it was pretty cool just to taste the different wines and just capture people. I learned a lot that day.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was very nice.
That is interesting. Did you cover when y'all started this?
Well, we started this last year, around this time, to be honest with you, in February. We officially, created Dolph, because it started off with my music company, Certified Bank Productions, and, I got a camera from school because I was doing Savannah State at the time, and a lot of people saw that I was taking pictures and had a camera and stuff. So people were asking me, "Hey, can I do your wedding? Can you cover my wedding? Can you do my baby shower?" And it's kind of weird if you're doing like a business or doing family event and Certified Bank Productions. They were like, "Well, that's a little extreme."
Right.
So I ended up creating Dolph as a portfolio project for one of my senior classes. And I was like, it's time to make that happen in reality. And it started off with just being by myself, and eventually work got a little too heavy, and that's when Chinyere came and was like, hey, let me help you with your work, and it blossomed to what we have now.
I'm gonna correct him because men, they just like to take credit for
Listen,
everything.
see, I heard the story already. I was just gonna let him run with it.
Right.
We already talked about
this.
It sounded so good. I liked it.
I already knew the school. I already knew the school.
So it did start off as Certified Bankers, and then when I came in to start helping him, it was still labeled Certified Bankers, And I'm like, come on now, you got family photos, children running around, and there's sports and stuff, and it's called Certified Bankers. Like, that don't even sound really marketable to everybody. Mm-hmm. It's not appealing. I hated telling people, they're like, oh, who are you doing photos for? Certified Bankers. Mm-hmm. I mean, Certified Bankers is a great entity all in its own, but for what we were doing, no.
Not the name.
Not the name.
Not even.
That might be a little intimidating to some people and some clients, like, to tell them that. And they probably would shy away from it. To be honest, it's a hard name.
Right.
So then we came up with Dolph, and we went with that. That's how that worked out.
That's how that worked out.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just came aboard. I guess you could say I kind of like a piggyback or whatever, or like a good wife should do. You see him struggling to carry the load, so you step in and help out.
That's right.
And it was a hard struggle for him to give up that control, especially being that he's the one who went to school for it, so he felt like...
Oh, here we go.
I got the degree.
Need to get into the nitty-gritty. Yes.
Of black love.
There it is.
Like, he felt like, I know what I'm doing. I went to school for this. Like, you can't tell me nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to let you have it right now. But eventually, I had to show him, and I'm still showing him. It's hard sometimes because he still had that mentality like,
you got to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Don't bother me.
Yeah.
I got
when
this.
it comes to that, I'm like Batman. Batman didn't have any partners at first. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in my bat cave, me, my cub.
Alfred was always
right. I was about to thank you.
You were Alfred. You brought food.
No, we don't want to start off black love like that. No. Black love might end.
You gotta think about it.
It might go into Black Lives Matter. That's what we're going into that.
Black male lives.
Oh God, yes.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, when they say behind every strong man is an even stronger woman, please believe.
With a little crazy.
Just
You a little crazy.
That's a disclaimer right
You
there.
might send them in there to get a sandwich, and you might come back with something else.
Ooh.
Yeah, chips. Drink.
Yep. See, we can start stuff here, but y'all got to go home together. So
You cool. See, that's the perks of actually running a business with your spouse. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm about to go home," and then leave it. No,
Yeah.
we argue at home because our business is at home too.
Yeah.
And and that just that makes you more closer too. You know what I mean? You when they say for better for worse, it's for everything.
Yeah.
And if you spent the daily life with us, our arguments are usually not of our relationship. It's because of the business.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little different when you.
I try to leave it in the office though, when we go to the bed, it's kind of like, what you doing for tomorrow? Go back to that later.
You can't help it.
Exactly.
You can't be like, man, let me tell you what happened at work today, because then you already know.
Exactly.
And I'm most likely talking about you.
Like, you're not running point, you just complain about when you get home.
Yep. It's you.
I'm pretty sure he had his side of it too, because I'm like I'm a tyrant, I guess. That's a bad word, but
Bossy. Bossy. Don't sugarcoat it. Do not sugarcoat it. Bossy.
I'm bossy, okay. And so it's kind of like I got to get better with communicating with him, because I am comfortable with him and he is my spouse. So it's just kind of sometimes like trying to bring it back to that
in that
coworker
language.
time.
In that language.
It sounds like
Try writing it down. All R's.
So, question: is it difficult to turn off coworker from spouse?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Like, well, last year we actually both stopped our 9-to-5s, and we were doing it full time, and it like we were losing the relationship in the business, because we were just so focused on pushing the business and getting it going, like nothing else mattered but growing the business. Because one of the best analogies that we've heard while on this journey is that when you start a business, it's a baby. And just like babies grow, it takes a while for a business to grow. And we're not even technically a toddler yet. We might be almost 2 years old. So that baby is still needy and needs a lot of time. And just so happened that time was actually coming from our relationship. Yeah. So
it was a while before we even went on a date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, we can go on a date." And I'm looking at our spreadsheet like, a date. We gotta focus on this and do this, but sometimes you do have to take a time out to get back to what really matters. You know what I mean? And because we work together as spouses, that is the strength of our business relationship too, because of the communications that we have going on. And I had to learn that personally because I'm a workaholic. I'll be like, yeah, she'll be all right. I'm gonna go in and work. It's for this cause, but you gotta stop. And then you gotta go back to the romance part too. Even if it's just for a couple of hours, just we took a time, went downtown, grabbed some Starbucks coffee, and we walked and we talked a little bit. And it was kind of refreshing because all you talk about is business.
yes.
It gets tiring.
Yeah, and then we try to intertwine it, which sometimes it can be done to make the business with the relationship and the pleasure and everything, but at some points you just still realize like this is still business. I really ain't get the full effect or experience or whatever from it, and so it just still was not cutting it, especially for me. He was okay. It was just me, I ain't gonna lie. He was like, I'm good. I'm like, bro, you tripping, like I need some time. He was like, but we've been out last week. We were working though. What you mean?
Like, I need undivided attention.
So every date is a work date.
Sometimes. I know
it was.
It's sometimes it's like you sitting here and you talking, you're like, yeah, baby, we about to do this, and then that's, there's the president of something, babe, come on, we gotta go get that. That'll be so dope if we talk to them and we make this happen, and it just cuts right in the middle of it, so that she's like, really, right now we're at dinner, like,
they're at dinner,
always working.
It's always on your mind. It never changes. I've been out with on a girls' night out, and oh my god, I'm not gonna mention the name because I where I might get eat up for that because it's gonna be wrong. But anyhow, we were out on the girls' night, and I saw somebody that had some statue to their name, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to get them a card.
Right.
And this is on the girls' night out. Like, it doesn't turn off. It's very hard to. Once you start, it's hard to stop. Like, the momentum just keeps going and going and going, which is good. But at some point, you got to find the pause.
So how do you balance that with your family life?
Man, how we balance it is you have to multitask. Like, at home, we have children. So one day she may be on homework duty, and I'm emailing and I'm doing the work and stuff like that. And then sometimes we switch. Like, all right, you go ahead and take a break, because when you're working on business all day and the kids come home, that's even more work, especially with this Eureka math stuff they got going on today. It makes your brain, and then sometimes you lose patience. So it's like, all right, we tag each other out. Like, all right, you good. You come on in here, come finish this. Yeah. I'll work with the kids, or vice versa. Like, if she hears me losing patience with the kids, then she'll come tag me out. Like, hey, come work on this. I'm working on this. Come do this. And a lot of times, as you see, my son's in there right now. He's asleep, but he comes with us whenever we have to go and do things. They roll with us, Sometimes.
To children-friendly events, of course. Yes. You can take them with us, which is great too about having your own business, because a lot of jobs you can't take your children with you, and sometimes we do get to take them, and that's a really good thing and experience. Like today, they were outside. I'm thinking they're just out there playing with their friends, and they were actually on the corner selling their candies.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, you gotta get it.
Yeah. So I think it's also teaching your children entrepreneurship. So I think as a young child and as a young man and woman, to be able to see your parents actually perform and bring it from that infancy level to an adulthood. So that's good. It's a good. I mean, it's a business, but it's also a good teaching tool for them.
It is, and I think in our community, especially us as African Americans, we lack a lot of that financial education that we don't receive, because a lot of our parents are probably still working and still doing things, and that's just how they were raised. Nobody stopped and told us, like, hey, save this much money and put it away. Invest this and this so that way you can have money. Nobody told us that. And at our age, I'm 31 now, a lot of older folks were like, you're still young, you still got time. But the way there is no time. Exactly, you feel what I'm saying? There is no time. And the earlier that we could learn this, I'm looking at all the money I done blew from when I was like 15 and 16 buying. You know how much crap I bought? You know how much trips I took just for the heck of it?
Right.
And all we have is memories. That's, expensive behind memories, But, I try to teach them early, like they save their money. I tell them you have to have a balance sheet. They have to write down what you're spending it for, what you're doing it for, and it has to stay in their little piggy bank. You can't take nothing out unless you mark it down on that sheet. And at the end of the month, we look at that sheet and say, well, you could have went without this. You could have did this. You could have did that.
Budgeting.
Yeah, exactly, man. Learn that now. So when you get our age, you're cooling.
Right.
You chill.
It's hard to learn these lessons. Being older, you already got a family and everything, and you're like, wait a minute, what? Oh my God, I've been doing this wrong 20 years of my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people have been working since they've been 15, 16 years old in high school, and you just think about how much money that you made, especially not having any bills and major responsibilities. You could have been saving that, investing it, just doing other things besides just, it's cool to be, be that teenager, have that moment and enjoy it. But if you had more of a financial knowledge or stability or whatever, you could be more set up now. Like 15 years old, if I was knowing this stuff, I probably would have invested in stocks and bonds. And right now, I'd be good. Like, I wouldn't have to stress. There wouldn't be a stress. You know what I'm saying? You'd be more set up, more secure. It wouldn't even matter if I had a family young, because it was already set up before they came in, at least a good 5-6 years before they came into the picture, that I would have had this money just making money for me.
Straight up.
So do you teach your kids anything about the business?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They actually work in the business.
They take photos.
Yeah, take photos.
We were going to let him get on camera tonight, but he's asleep.
He's asleep. Yeah, he's not that long day. Yeah, he's a soccer player, so, he does all that. But the greatest gift was last year, Father's Day. We had an event in Macon for a radio station there, and it was a father-daughter's dance. And we all traveled as a family. We all went. Of course, I did camera. She did camera. My daughter was. Did she work the camera?
She did.
Yeah, she worked the camera too. She took photos. My son was an assistant with the coordinator there, so we all had our little mics on our heads. Yeah, and he kept us on our time schedule, letting us know what the next act was and what time to go on and where we needed to be and when they were going to do stuff. So, like for Father's Day, that was probably one of the best, Father's Days I've ever had. Just to have our family just doing our business, and even if they don't grow up not wanting to do what we do, they can still have ownership.
Hope they do.
Yeah, we hope they do. It's fun what we do. We're trying to create that.
Hope they
but
take in.
yeah, and they have an eye for it, of course, naturally, but they'll still have ownership. And if they can't, if they don't want to do it, they can still run the business. They can still do it without having to really do too much with it. So,
basically, it's for them to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
When they get older. It's not a force or push for them to be in it. We would love them to, but as long as it's something there that they can have, they can be like, my mom, my dad left this for us when we got older, so we won't have to struggle and start from the bottom. Like, it's kind of a more easy playing field at that point,
Mm-hmm.
So what is your vision for Dolphin Museum?
Wow. I can say for our journey, a lot of people who come and work with us are people who are just like us. They want to learn how to get better at their craft. Some people can't go to school. Like my wife, she didn't go to school for that. Hey, you want to say I said you ain't go to school?
On the bus
hey,
it comes
it comes back.
I got experience.
It comes back. You know what I'm saying?
I have experience. I've been doing this for years.
Oh yeah, look at you. Look at you. You see what I'm saying?
Strong black woman.
Hey!
Strong. And it's the rated PG-13 version. The car conversation's a little bit more extreme.
Oh my God.
But just to see it grow and just become something that we can teach other people to grow and how to get better at it. Because right now, media is our life. We do it all the time. We're on the internet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Internet radio right now. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of things going on. But yeah, so I see it being like a big educational tool for.
We want to give a run to the schools that are here in Savannah that do this eventually.
Yeah.
Our vision is huge, man. Like every day we talk about this, or when we do talk about it, I'm just like, wow, it's grown some more. Like we've added something else to try to make it better, not just for ourselves, but the people that work with us, that's a part of the team, for the community. Like you got SCAD here, which is cool. SCAD is great, but SCAD is so expensive,
Mm-hmm.
We want to be able to, like, get people who are doing it and go ahead and let them get in the field and get the experience and not have to wait. Basically, interns. We don't want them to wait until they're close to graduating. Like, y'all can come now and start.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many jobs and employers are like, yeah, you need experience. But how many people are willing to open up the door to let you get that experience?
Exactly.
It's not a lot. You'll be searching all day looking for jobs to find the experience.
You got a question of the day.
So question, a two-part question. Number one, is it too old? Are you too old to start your dream or to live your dream? And number two, what advice would you give to a young or older entrepreneur that wants to start their own business?
Great
Are
question.
you dead?
Basically.
Are you dead? And are you close to being dead? And then just don't keep waiting on it. Don't spend a long time writing your plan, because that plan is going to change. Just like students who start college, you go to college and how many people have changed their majors once they got in. They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go for this, and then they start and they're like, yeah, no, let me find something else to do, and then they switch their major.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with your business plan. It's going to change the more you learn things. Just don't spend too much time in the planning stages.
It's never too late. As long as there's so many, with the internet now, there's so many opportunities of things that you can do. From a young entrepreneur, you're never too young. Man, our kids love Musical.ly. There's kids on Musical.ly that are icons, for what they do. Instagram stars, Musical.ly stars. There's something for everybody. Man, they have YouTube channels with kids who just play video games, and kids watch. Me, I'm not the type of person I'm going to watch somebody else play a video game, but there's a market for that. There's a market for that.
And
as a young
kids who
person.
have them are getting paid.
We have the opportunity to meet an older couple that that they sell like juices. You know, they sell different kinds of juices and everything like that. And that's what they do. You know what I mean? They go and you taste their different juices and it gives you energy and stuff like that. And it's other people, man. It's endless possibilities to do it.
I'm scared. I'm young. I'm older. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm
that?
scared to
Be all
jump.
that.
What do I do?
You scared to jump?
Dude.
I mean,
I like it.
the biggest thing is I never lived a life of what if, or I could have did this, or I should have did this, or I would. That's worse. That's the worst way to live because you'll sit there with all these questions thinking, well, did I do my best? Well, my life would be different if I did this, or my life would be changed if I did that. Well, you wouldn't know unless you did it. Just do it.
I think I'd rather know that I did it and tried and failed than not do it and you possibly could have succeeded.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
We're gonna run through these station IDs real quick and all this other rigmarole, and then we're gonna get into the nitty gritty.
Hey.
Black love.
Black love and entrepreneurship. Let it happen.
Let's go.
So you're listening to WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. We got promo and we got promo. We got station promo and community promo. So let's start with the station promo. WRUU brings you the most diverse and passionate local radio programming on the air in Savannah. This all-volunteer and non-profit community radio station accepts no money from any form of government. Our diversity and independence is made possible only through the generous financial support of listeners like you. We rely on your annual and ongoing monthly contributions to cover the many costs associated with bringing you our broadcast and web programming. If you are a contributor, thank you. If you are not yet a contributor, please show your appreciation of the role WRUU plays in your life by becoming a contributor in any amount. You can donate quickly and easily by credit card or check. Just find the donate and subscribe links at WRUU.org. Thanks for listening to and supporting WRUU. Community promo time. Oh, I don't know. Geekin'. Geekin' is happening now, so listen up and listen close. The Creative Coast presents Geekin', a 2-day conference featuring speakers from technology, design, engineer, innovation, industry, and more on February 2nd and 3rd at various venues in Savannah. Session topics include startups, innovative business thinking, video game development, and augmented and virtual reality technologies. More information is available at www.geek-n.com. Back to real talk. Quick question. In relation to Geekin', are y'all participating in that this year?
We actually were trying to come to that event. I was working with Miss Coco about it, but I don't know. We had it's a busy week. It's been a busy week, and we couldn't really collaborate with Miss Coco about that. But we did cover her event, the Women's March. We did cover that for her, and that was pretty awesome to see how influential women are in not only our communities, but just how they affect things in the world. So